What's going on, ladies and gentlemen, saints and ain'ts, and welcome to another episode of Beyond the Shoe. I'm your host, Dominic Smith, and today it is a special episode. It is Father's Day, and we are airing this Father's Day episode on the special day. And I have one of the premier faces of Ohio State football as far as the parents are concerned. He is none other than Mr. G. Scott Sr. Happy Father's Day, man. I appreciate you joining the show.
Good word. Happy Father's Day. Happy Father's Day to all fathers that see this and across America, especially throughout Buckeye Nation. Happy Father's Day.
Absolutely, man. It's an honor to have you on the show. One thing I am going to start off with, though, is this is how I start off with, a lot of the parents and the different people that come on the show. I always try to keep it light first. If you had to pick a 90s song to describe kind of your journey and the things you've overcome, just a 90s song that you would say, that's my thing, that's my jam, what would it be?
Montel Jordan, 1994. This is how we do it.
Oh, man, that's my jam.
This is how we do it. This is how we do it. It's Friday night.
And I feel all right, man. Party here on the west side.
West side. So I think I'm picking This Is How We Do It. And I think the reason why is This Is How We Do It. And that's the song because, look, there's ups and downs in everything that you do. We've all gone through ups and downs. Everybody listening to this right here, we've all been through ups and downs. But at the same time, there is no special recipe. Sometimes how you do things is how you do things, right? And that's how you are going to get through it. So when I say this is how we do it, this is how we do it. You know what I mean? Everybody ain't going to like it. Everybody's going to have an opinion, one way or the other. But the hope is so that you get through it. So this is how we do it.
I may have to start calling you Bishop Scott. You preaching on this Sunday morning, man. Definitely a good word there, man. But listen, the first thing I want to ask you, what does Father's Day mean to you? It's just a tradition that everyone celebrates every year. But personally to you, what does this day mean to you?
I think it takes on many meanings, right? And I just wish Hallmark and them kind of celebrated it a little tougher. You feel me? I always kind of feel like something about there's a lot going on during the time that Father's Day happened. And I'm gonna get to the positive, but let me go ahead and get some grievances out of there. To you fathers out there, let me go ahead and try to do my best to represent us a little bit. There's a lot going on in June. Kids getting out of school, graduations are happening, people thinking about vacations. You know who they ain't thinking about? What kind of drawers and ties and socks to give daddy on Father's Day, right? Yeah. I mean, it's almost to the point where school is almost out. So not even the daycares and not even the nursery schools and the elementary schools is making the Father's Day card. Can we move Father's Day? That's what I got for you. Can we just move it? Can we just get it out of this realm of this right here smack in the middle, second-ish, third week-ish of June? It just seems like everybody's got things to do. But let me go on the positive side of things. I think it's a special time to embrace. They take that one day to just celebrate just a win, right? A win on that day. What I mean by a win, like, you know what? As a father, as a parent, I can't mess up this day, right? You realize as a parent that you're not perfect. Yeah. You realize that as a human being and on this day, you've made many mistakes and you try to be better. So when they say father, right? Mm-hmm. I look at father as I try to do my best. We fathers try to do our best to try to push our children. Watch this play on words. Father further than our parents did previous to us. So on this Father's Day, I'm going to celebrate this win. I'm going to celebrate this win for all the daddies out there that's proud of that brisket, or you proud of that green grass, or even proud of them pair of underwear and socks and tie that you got. Either way, happy Father's Day.
You are like the well, first of all, I think we need to petition to move Father's Day to Super Bowl Sunday.
Come on.
That's
Come on.
that's I mean,
Can we get Buckeye Scoop on this? Come on, Buckeye Scoop. I
Kirk,
need more out of you than just recruiting in the Ohio State Buckeyes. Let's move Father's Day. Let's go.
I'm challenging Kirk Barton. Kirk, listen, brother, Super Bowl Sunday, we got to make it happen. We have to use our powers. I'll be honest, man, it's like I'm talking to Fraser Crane, like the Black Fraser Crane of Seattle, with so much passion. The young people probably will not know that show, but
Right.
it's a legendary show. This has been a challenging year. This previous year with COVID, the kids, the athletes, well, I mean, they're still kids in a sense. You're just having to maneuver so many things, and it builds character, especially when you're so far away from home because you're trying to compete for the season and everything you worked for, but you're also trying to protect your parents. As a father, what has this year taught you? What have you learned through this year of trials and tribulations, ups and downs?
That Mike Tyson had it right when he said everybody's got a plan until you get punched in the mouth. Everybody's got a plan. You know what I mean? And I think it reinforced that.
Yeah.
I think that it reinforced we're still doing it, but social media has made us get to the point where we don't call our loved ones like we used to. We see them on Facebook, we see them on Twitter, we see them on Instagram, and we just assume like, oh yeah, they're okay, right? So we see people and we have started to disconnect.
Right.
But the truth of the matter is, you see that background that you got right there, you see that stadium full of people, right?
Yeah.
I went to a few games last year where that stadium was empty. And you see, what makes that stadium that's in your background right there? The people. The people make that stadium. So you ask me what I've learned over the last year is that we need people. We are a people society. We are people driven. Some of the people that are in our lives, whether they're family or not, some of the greatest people in our lives are not family by blood, right? And so COVID has made us have to lean on people, right? The Buckeyes recruited my son to play football. The Buckeyes didn't recruit my son to be there for him during a global pandemic. This ain't even football no more. This is bigger than football.
Yeah.
I saw, I got to tell you, over the last year and after the season, I would see G. Scott Jr.'s name. Like people would say, oh yeah, he's definitely next to transfer. Oh yeah, he's going to transfer. For what? What is he transferring for? Is he transferring because he didn't get the playing time that you thought he should get? Is he transferring because there's a certain amount of playing time that a freshman should get that shows you how successful you're going to be? Is he transferring because The Ohio State did not go to the national championship? Is he transferring because Coach Ryan Day is not one of the premier coaches in college football? You see, this COVID and what we've gone through has taught me and reinforced just how great of a university The Ohio State is. Even more dug in, more so. You see, everybody always talks about X's and O's, and you and I both know, and those that really know, you know who defeats X and O? Johnny and Joe. Johnny and Joe will beat X and O anytime. So it goes back to what I've been saying. You need the people. You need the people. So what I've learned over the last year is that people, everybody needs somebody.
Who is the person that has helped you on this journey?
Now, when you say this journey, which journey are you talking about?
Well, let's start with COVID, and then I want to just kind of backtrack to the humble beginnings. But during this process, I know it hasn't been easy for you. You know, you're in Seattle, you're in Washington, and you know, even if somebody was in Dayton, you know, Ohio, compared to, you know, Columbus, it's still difficult. You know, you still worry about your kids. You want the best for them. How have you been able to, yeah, who's helped you? Talk about the need for people. Who's that person that you lean to, and they've been like a rock for you, just to say, listen, keep the faith, keep going. It's gonna be all right.
You know, there's a pause in me, not because I don't have anything to say right now. There's a pause in me right now, is because I'm trying to decide how I want to explain this to you and everyone listening. There's a pause in me because I'll get to who helped me, but who helped me were my listeners. I do a radio show here, 5 day, a morning show, 5 days a week. And it was during this time, it was my listeners and answering messages from fans or people that don't like me and all that throughout this time that helped me. But I had a low point, Dominique. I had a very low point, and one in which I'd never felt that before. And I know that there are some Buckeye parents, possibly, that they've had that point as well. Well, Thanksgiving of 2020, as you know, the Buckeyes were during their season. And all of a sudden, G Junior comes down with COVID a little bit before that. So you got to imagine, we're going through a global pandemic, Dominique. I'm 2,500 miles away. My son is isolated because he has COVID. He can't be with his team. He can't be with anyone because he's quarantined, right?
Yeah.
And then Thanksgiving hits. I'm gonna tell you right now. I'm telling you. I don't wish that feeling on no man or woman in the world, no parent. The amount of tears that I shed during that time when my son was locked away on Thanksgiving.
Yes.
Now I want you to just imagine that for a second now. As a parent, if there's one thing that we parents really have a hard time with, is when there's nothing that we can do. And so for my son to be locked away on Thanksgiving, and there's some parents that can relate to what I'm talking about. This ain't got nothing to, the Buckeyes, they didn't do anything wrong. The school, the coaching staff, he got COVID. There's nothing nobody can do. I can't go visit him. I can't go do anything. So I'm telling you that to say, man, I went through a hard time, brother. That was probably one of the hardest times I've dealt with in 20 years. And I've dealt with a lot of heartbreak. And that one was tough. How I got through it, it wasn't one person. I internalized all of that, because who am I going to talk to about that, brother?
Yeah.
Who can understand what I'm going through other than parents?
Right.
There's nothing you can say to me. My son is locked away on Thanksgiving because he's being safe, but there's nothing that I can do. So how I got through that is, I think that, I'll get messages from parents, families here from my radio show talking about what they're going through with COVID. People have lost their jobs. People have lost loved ones. People are currently sick at that time. So sometimes when you're trying to be strong and you are writing back and communicating with others, it's like a sense of not feeling alone. And I think that's what helped me.
Wow, that's crazy, man. And glad that he, he's okay. First and foremost, and that you go through it. I think I know what the answer is, but I want to ask it anyway. What kind of character did that build for the both of you? Because you don't go through something, it's lifting weights. You want to, gain character. The Bible says, we have a need for patience, and that comes through trials and, tribulations and stuff like that. What kind of character did that very difficult, I can't imagine that, very difficult time, build for the both of you?
I think it made you even more resilient. The things that he and I have gone through earlier on, I think it solidified just how consistent and persistent that you have to be at anything. Yeah. And I think that G Junior is, I don't know the success as far as touchdowns, catches, yards. I don't know that, right? I can't tell you what kind of success he's going to have with that. But I'm going to tell you this. As far as the game of football, he's going to be very successful. Let me repeat that again. As far as the game of football, he's going to be very successful. Whether it's him or it's him teaching others, he's that far along because of what happened with COVID. He's that far along because of what happened with COVID, being there with his team, with his coaches, the tutors that he gets. The dude is so dialed in and locked in on what he's doing. And so what it helped do, and I'm sure that some other parents can relate to this too. During that time, all these Buckeye football players, all they did was go to work at the Woody and come back. No free time, no nothing. Go to work, come back. Go to work, come back. That's it. And I think even though we are, if you will, getting through that, getting past that, getting to where, okay, restrictions are lifting, people that are able to go do other things, I think with that go to work, come back mentality, they know that that's the secret. That go to work, come back mentality is what got them to a national championship. And if they want to get back to a national championship, it's the same thing, baby. Go to work, come back.
Yeah. So I still have a few more questions, but I do still want to keep it light. So what was the question I asked for Cruz? It just slipped my mind. I had written down. Yeah, sorry. If I'm visiting Seattle, there was a food, specific genre of food, you don't have to name restaurants. Listen, I know you got a radio show. I don't want any more people coming after you by saying he out here trying to ruin my business, saying my food sucks. No, we're not about to do that. Right. But if there was a genre of food that you say, Dominique, you got to hit it, brother, and there was one that said you need to stay in Orlando, don't even come over here to try that mess, what would the two genre be? What would the suggestion be? And then what would be the one that you just say,
Oh, man, you're going to get folks really mad at me. I hope that a lot of people in the Seattle area don't hear this.
I said genre, not restaurants. So
No. You said genre. No. I'm going to go with the genre. I'm going to go with the one that I'm going to say, Because, my cousins are in town right now, and they actually did it. And I just said, why did y'all do that? You don't come to Seattle for barbecue. Come on now. You don't come to Seattle for barbecue. That ain't what you do. This ain't the spot for that. So don't even do that. But however, where you need to go to, you need to come get on the seafood. Oh man. Oh boy, what you want? You want them scallops? You want that halibut? You want that crab? You want that salmon? What you want? Boy, I'm talking about it. It's you dang near right out the water, right? It just fresh out the water,
So it's
you know.
fresh,
Now you got
fresh.
it's fresh, 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 right? So if you're listening to this, maybe you might be in the Midwest, you got to think it comes out the water, then it's got to get shipped to you. Then they got to have it frozen first. It's, it's right out the water, baby.
See, I live in Orlando. I'm our Florida recruit insider, so I know fresh, seafood
Yeah,
when I
yeah,
see it.
yeah.
So listen, I'm a fried. Well, listen, my motto in life is, well, my shirt pretty much says I like fried chicken and maybe 3 other people. So that's my motto. If you can't fry it, don't buy it. That's how I live my life. Uh, so I can get a good fried fish sandwich in Seattle, or are you guys more baked? Just
Now you know this is Seattle, baby, so they're gonna be a little healthy. You know what I
yeah,
mean?
more
Gonna be a
sushi.
little healthy.
Okay.
More sushi, you know. So now I'm not recommending fried catfish and fried tilapia, nothing like that. You'll get it fresh out here. You want that, you're gonna have to go on down to Miami and off Fort Lauderdale to get all that. Or probably New Orleans, right? Like
Yeah.
that New Orleans might be the king of how this is. We frying everything and don't disrespect it if it's not fried. Don't do that. So
Well, that's the South in general. Honestly, if you want fried food, I've never gotten it. Well, I'm not about to have Miami coming after me, but let me just say this: the best fried food I had was in North Florida, and almost had to carry me out on a stretcher because I ate too much and everything. So okay, I that I didn't know they sold barbecue in Seattle, but you learn something new every day. So
right, right.
don't come for Bishop Scott. You can come for me. I'm gonna leave my Twitter at, and I'm the one that started. So no, don't come for him where that's concerned. Let's talk about just humble beginnings, man. I know a little bit of your story, just reading it, listening to different interviews, how you've washed cars and how you've talked about the people who've influenced you. But can you just share with me the journey from the then to the now? I don't have a particular place, to start, but in a sense, there's a lot. Everybody could use a message of hope, and the message of hope comes through testimonies that what, it was hard, but by the grace of God, I made it. So just kind of talk about to the point where now you have your own radio show.
Sure. Yeah, as most folks know, there was a journey of you know door-to-door sales to car washing and car detailing, and it landed me into radio. And sometimes I've told the story so many times, right? And there's so many things that I remember as I'm telling the story. Like, oh, I never told this story before, or I never told this story before. And as much as I would like to talk about how tough it is, the things that I had to go through, instead of doing that, let me talk about how great the message was that I learned. So I'll give you something different, right? I started cleaning cars in 2003. And then I was doing it for the Seattle Seahawks during that time. And so I just want to let it be clear that I was very proud of what I would do cleaning these cars. I was very proud to take a dirty car inside and outside and giving it back to that player and show them, here's my work. It's no different than a child or an adult saying, look at what I did, and wanting that pat on the back, like, oh, that's a great job. And so over those years, I've met a lot of players, a lot of pro players. I've met a lot of coaches, right? And to be able to be around greatness. And what I mean by greatness, I'm talking about the best football players in the world when they play pro football, to see their journey, to see them go from rookie to second year player, third year player, Lord willing, 10-year player, to see the maturation period that happens, to see a player first, they're 21, 22 years old, and then now that player's 28, 30 years old, and they have a family and kids, right? Yeah. To see that journey was very important for me to take what I learned and instill that in my household, right? That consistency. When Pete Carroll comes here in 2010, and people say things like, well, what makes Pete Carroll so special? It is the culture, right? It's the culture. So it took me a long time to understand and see that. So being the car wash guy, being there 5 days a week during the week and being around these guys, the culture is how you can hear the players talk different, speak different. Let me give you an example. Before, players would talk about like, man, yeah, so after the game on Sunday night, I'm going to be going to do this, or I might go do this, and maybe on our day off, I might fly here, I might do that. And then it changes to, oh man, on Sunday night, I'm gonna head back to the house. I got a chef doing some cooking. I'm gonna be ready to watch some film and everything. Get right. The culture changes how you speak, and I can relate that to regular folks. Like, how can you relate to what I'm saying about culture? Have you guys ever noticed that some of the worst jobs, as far as pay, the worst paying job that we probably ever had in our lives, probably had the best culture because we had people that we got along with? It was just a fun time, right? And when you have a good culture, a good work culture, you tend to do more with work. And so I don't want to go all the way around everything. I want to keep this simple, just to say that during my journey, during the ups and downs of the rough times that I had, I want to take this time instead for this Father's Day to talk about the good times that I had during those rough times. Because there is a such thing as having good times during bad times. There's a such thing as having a good lesson during a bad time. And to be able to have my sons be there, be a part of it, car clean, car washing, work hard, to when G Jr. was in high school, he's now working for the Seahawks. He's in the equipment room. He's doing all the things that he's supposed to do, but he's seeing, he's hearing the message, the conversations, and how what makes this player a really good player isn't luck, isn't just talent. It is the consistency, is being persistent, is doing the same thing day after day after day after day. And even then there's still no guarantee that you're gonna make it.
Yeah.
So only thing you can do is continue to work hard. And I think that I was supposed to go through those hard times, Dominique. But in order to do that, I think during that time, it was able to strengthen my message, not just to my sons, but to anybody that I might meet. Because sometimes, man, what you might leave on someone, you never know what it might do for their generation, for their legacy, for their loved ones. Because the truth of the matter is most people in this world, and this is very important, most people in this world want better for everyone else. Okay. This world ain't as ugly as Twitter might tell you it is, or some of these trolls, the Twitter. By the way, I don't know if y'all got the Twitter profiles with the John 1 2 3 4 5 6 7 8 9 10 with the goose egg, and you saying things like, it's not many of y'all in this society. So you guys, but only, unfortunately, squeaky wheel gets the grease.
Yeah.
So my message really is for the majority of people. The majority of people want good for others. So I try to do my best to spread that.
Usually those people only have like one follower.
Yeah.
And they make it's just the smallest dog makes the loudest bark in everything. So one thing that our fan base at Buckeye Scoop wanted me to ask, and I guess I want to ask it in a way that pertains to Father's Day. And there were some wonderful mothers who were crucial to this as well. It was a team effort of parents. But when you all went to Columbus this summer to speak on behalf, excuse me, of players to try to get this season, going, and you went in front of the horseshoe. I know you were one of the ones who, made a speech on the megaphone. Excuse me. Randy Wade was another one who was very vocal and everything. Can you kind of take me through that process, and what did you want, not just Kevin Warren and the Big Ten to see, what did you want men and women, mothers and fathers, what did you want your sons to see who are fighting as well? What was, kind of that meaning? What did you want them to see, in your fight, in your joint fight, to help them have a safe and successful season?
This is easy. This is easy right here. I wanted them to see that it ain't stopped. And what does that mean? It ain't stopped. If you're a parent of a Buckeye, if you're a parent of a football player in college football, that means you didn't been to plenty of practices. That means you didn't been to plenty workouts. That means you didn't been, boy, you've been there a lot. You've been through some things with your child I'm talking about before people even knew who your child was. Mm-hmm. You've been there.
Yeah.
You were there when it was only just you to see your child. All of a sudden now, you got people you don't even know there to see your child. So when I say it ain't stopped, meaning you don't stop being a parent, Dominique. So what you guys saw is you just saw a continuation. You just saw the parents that showed up to practice. You saw the parent that showed up to the high school, or the parent that showed up to the parent-teacher conference, or the parent that showed up. You don't stop being a parent. And we're in a global pandemic during that time. So what you saw in us, and by the way, I had no idea that I was going to be doing some talking. I just was just going to be, I didn't even know where I was just, I was going there. I didn't know if we was marching down streets. I didn't know what we was doing. I was prepared to do whatever. But then they was talking. They said, hey, you got something to say? And you don't ask me if I got something to say now. You don't ask if I got something to say. So I had something to say.
Yeah.
But I think that's what you saw. I think that myself, and by the way, I want to take this time to really give praise to the Buckeye Parent Board. Okay, I want to be very clear in this. I think what they do is unreal. I love what they do. I love their passion. I love how together they are. Randy Wade was a part of that board at one point, I believe, and Amanda Babb, she is the president. Then you got the new, you got some other folks on there, and sorry if I don't say you guys' names. I believe Harry Miller's mom was a part of that board as well. So I just want to take this time to really give praise to the parents of that board, and also praise to the parents who have been with the Buckeyes for so long, right, who have been there, who have made it easy for us new folks to come around and welcome us. And some of y'all I don't know, and I haven't got a chance to meet yet. And probably better for you because I'll talk to you here also. That's fine.
What is it? Well, let me ask you this, and then I have two more questions. Then I want you to plug your radio show in so we can definitely tune in. What is it if someone had to play your life in a movie? If they said we're gonna make a G. Scott Chronicle, and we're gonna have 6 movies or whatever the case might be, who would be the actor that you say, listen, if he's not playing me, then just forget about it. Who's that guy? I think Denzel Washington would play you perfectly. That's just my opinion. You
man, you gave me Denzel. Oh man, to play me.
That's my opinion.
That'd be all right. It had to be some of these new up and coming young brothers that's on the scene. What's my man's name? That's the lead character in Snowfall. You know what I mean? I like how he likes to move things up and move things a bit. I don't know, man. I don't know who would really play me, but I'd say this. I'd say that whoever it was that played me, they would figure me out real easy. And they'd be like, wait a minute. This man's character is very easy. He kind of likes to talk in parables a little bit. You know what I mean? Like he can't never just give you a straight answer. He can't just give you, oh yes, hey, how you feeling today, G? Oh, good. I'm not going to give you that. I'm going to give you a reason as to why I'm feeling good and why that if I wasn't feeling good and how I would try to persevere feeling bad. And then you'll never ask me again how I'm doing because you don't want it to take 5 minutes.
I forgot that dude's name. I forgot his name. I know who you're talking about. I'm gonna stick with Denzel because Denzel can play many hats. Like I said, my new nickname for you was Bishop. We call you Apostle, whatever you want, whatever. But Denzel could be a pastor. Denzel could be a coach. You saw him.
So, is this the Buckeye? Is this Buckeye Scoop's name for me? The Bishop?
Well. Okay, well, I guess because I'm with Buckeye Scoop, this is my name, and I guess since I'm affiliated with Buckeye Scoop, I just want to say,
This Dominique
okay. Of Buckeye Scoop's official name for Bishop Scott. That's what we're gonna roll with.
Okay,
that's
I got you.
Let's just say, so Buckeye Scoop, they get because it's affiliated, but I just want to be sure I came up with the idea. So yeah, we just want to.
Well, hey, when you get a chance, since you with Buckeye Scoop, can you tell Tony? You know who Tony is, right?
I call him Tony Tone. Yeah.
Tell Tony, how come he ain't never asked to interview me, man? Tony, you don't ever do nothing, man. I need you to do some work around there, Tony. That's what I need you to do. That's right. So you hearing this right now? No, I'm just kidding. By the way, I had to give some way to shout out to Tony. Love Tony, man. Tony is the hilarious. I don't know why he's so funny to me, but that dude is so fast and quick and funny on social media, man.
I have to say this. I love Tony too, but we get into this debate. So I gotta ask you.
Okay, let's hear it.
Is a boneless chicken wing a chicken nugget or a chicken wing?
It's a chicken nugget, and don't be disrespectful. Please don't be disrespectful. Are you kidding me? What are you talking about? Well, a chicken without a bone? Boneless chicken is chicken nuggets.
Tony, I'm trying to tell you, dog. Man, I told Tony, listen, man, you might as well just go to Wendy's and get yourself an 8-pack chicken wing, if that's what you want to call it, spicy nuggets. Man, I was gonna retire because this is the best. I had Christina Miller, Harry Miller's mom, and she had a mic drop comment similar to that one, and I was gonna retire it, but I just had to bring it up. I just had to, man. I just had to. But man, we love Tony. Tony is literally the MVP, one of the MVPs of Buckeye Scoop. Definitely gonna definitely give him some love once this is over. But I got two more questions for you, then we're gonna wrap this thing up. Gee Scott Jr., one thing that impresses me the most about him, man, is his faith and how he carries that in season and out of season. How is that, in a way, kind of helped you, as his father? How has that encouraged you to see that he's gone on that path and that he sought the things, of God to give him the strength that he needs, in addition to the lessons that you've taught him as his father?
He 100% has a very strong faith, and he lives it. And as a father, to see your child walk by it, talk by it, right, and stand by it, that's a wonderful feeling on this Father's Day, to see that. And I believe that it has helped guide him when things seem a little bleak and a little rough. We go back to that Thanksgiving conversation that we had during those times. And I think that when you have that faith, right, it's during those rough times, Brother Dominique, that you know that he's carrying you, right? That you're being carried through that storm. And that faith, whoever it is that you have faith in, yeah. I think that that has been powerful for him, and I think that it's made him a better person. And I hope that people really see the theme of what I consistently talk about, and what I consistently don't talk about is he and I, we don't talk touchdowns. We don't talk about, you got to have a great season. You got as far as you got to catch this many balls, or, people say things like, well, if he's going to be a good tight end, he's going to have to block. What's blocking? Want to? If Steph Curry is going to be a good basketball player in the NBA, he's got to be taller than 6'3". Special is special. Special is special. There is no 40 time. There is no height, weight. There's no nothing. So there's always got to be something special about that player, about that person, that makes them have that God-given a talent and ability that just pops off the screen. But sometimes that's not for everybody, Dominique. Yeah. And it's okay. You know what I mean? People really judge or call success of football based upon catches, yards, blocks, tackles, games. Yeah. The real success, let me tell you the real success. The real success is how you are as a person. That's going to carry you further in life than how good you were on a football field. So as far as his faith is concerned, it's the faith that makes him a better person and a better man. So as he is on that Buckeye team and he is surrounded by great people, that's the biggest message. That's how that faith will help him. That faith will continue to help him, and that faith will continue to help others and those around.
And my last question for you, there's a song that my mom, sometimes she, sings it around the house. And I remember she retired a couple years ago, and I believe she mentioned it. And the song says, sang it in church, may the work that I've done speak for me, especially when it's all said and done. when it is all said and done and you've taken your final breath, what do you want your legacy to be? When you are gone on, what do you want people to say about G. Scott Sr., not the radio host, not the social media, but the father? What do you want your legacy to be?
The truth never expires. And you want the next generation to do better and to understand that in order to do better, you have to stand on the shoulders of giants. And I stood on the shoulders of giants, of those that came before me. And I want my children and those that come after me to do the same thing and continue on with that legacy and to do the best in the world that they can and be the best person.
Well, there's nothing else to be said, but well, yeah, there is. I have one more thing. Plug your radio show information so that people can take a listen in. I believe if you have iHeartRadio, then you can listen to the different stations. So yeah, go ahead and share that with us. Where can we find you?
Well, I'm on Cairo Radio in Seattle. CairoRadio.com. Cairo is K-I-R-O. So CairoRadio.com. But a lot of what I'm talking about is local stuff that happens here in Seattle, and I talk about stuff on a national level as well. But follow me on Twitter. That's probably the best time. Sometimes I have people reach out to me and they jump in my DMs. They, if you will, slide into my DMs and say a couple things. You know what I mean? And so, I sometimes respond back to those. So at the G. Scott Sr. on Twitter.
Well, listen, man, I appreciate you coming on the show. Happy Father's Day to you. Happy Father's Day to all the Buckeye fathers, past and present and current, as far as being on the team. Thank you for the wisdom that you dropped. For Beyond the Shoe, I'm Dominic Smith. If you're interested in sponsoring the show, you can message me on Twitter, Dom Smith. Okay, I don't know. I'll post it in the link. I forgot my own Twitter handle, but you can shoot me an email, DominicSmith77@gmail.com. And we're going to catch you next time.